Why no one can stop anti-Tinubu protests? Adegboruwa speaks. Eminent human rights lawyer Ebun Olu Adegboruwa's son has warned that no one has no right to stop the planned nationwide hunger protest against President Bola Tinubu administration scheduled for August 1st, 2024. Adegboruwa, in an article made available to News Express this Tuesday morning, July 23rd, said that after the right to life, the next important right for every individual is the right to freedom of speech, by which all men and women are conferred with the inalienable right to express themselves freely. Quoting from the Holy Book, the Bible, Adegboruwa explained that in Genesis chapter 4, God punished Cain for slaughtering his brother Abel without a lawful cause. He noted that even in the state of condemnation, Cain protested the punishment as being too harsh. He quoted Genesis 4:13, and Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth, and it will happen that anyone who finds me will slaughter me." And then the Lord said to him, "Therefore, whoever murders Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should murder him. Applying the lesson, Adegboruwa wrote, "The right to protest is intrinsic to every citizen, and it is divinely recognized and ordained by God." Continuing, he said, "It was once part of the custom of Israel that female children were not entitled to inherit the assets of their father upon his death. This custom stood sacrosanct for a long time until it came to the turn of a certain brave woman, Zelophehad. Zelophehad was a very wealthy man who had 5 daughters and no male child. After his death, his 5 daughters approached Moses in Numbers 27 to protest against the law of God, which discriminated against them in the favor of their male counterparts. They stood boldly before the priests and the elders of the land to demand for their rights. This was strange to Moses for anyone to seek to overturn the custom, but he was brave enough to take the protest directly to God. God sanctioned their protest and therefore changed the existing law to sanction female inheritance. Adegboruwa also noted that God ordained the right to freedom from discrimination based on the protest of some courageous women. He continued, he said that the law against discrimination was thereafter found itself various statutes, especially Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution. The insightful article reads in parts, and I quote, "In modern-day Nigeria, however, and in 2024, we are being told that the right to protest is a crime. Beyond any doubt, Section 39(1) of the Constitution of Nigeria supports the freedom of expression when it states that every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart ideas and information without interference." According to Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, a protest is a solemn declaration of opinion and usually of dissent, the act of objecting, or a gesture of disapproval or complaint, objection, or display of unwillingness usually to an idea or a course of action to make a protestation. Some Nigerians have declared their intention to stage protests across the nation to express their grievances and disagreements with the economic policies of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which they claim to have imposed suffering, hunger, and poverty on the masses of the people. The government, on the other hand, has become unnecessarily jittery of the likely outcome of such protests, citing the case of the NSAS protest of 2020. It is interesting to know that a government led by President Tinubu cannot stand protest. What exactly is the government's opposition to people's gathering? The Take It Back movement led by Comrade Omole Sowore is part of the leaders of the proposed August protest. That is a known entity who will work along other civil society organizations to coordinate the protest. Earlier this year, there were spontaneous protests in Oyo, Osun, Edo, and Kano State foiled by cruel, non-liberal economic policies of the Tinubu administration. No one could identify the leaders of those protests, but here we have known individuals who have put forth their names and reputation to lead the protest, and the government is not satisfied with that. Let me draw the attention of the president to the provisions of several statutes in Nigeria that sanction the right of the citizens to protest. Under and the virtue of Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution, every person shall be entitled to assemble freely and associate with other persons. Section 41 of the same Constitution grants the freedom of free movement to all citizens. But more importantly, the Police Act 2020 has specifically imposed a sacred obligation on the government not only to allow civil protest, but also to provide security for the protection of protesters. Section 83 of the Police Act provides as follows. Section 83(1) states, the police force is responsible for maintaining and securing public safety and public order. Section 2 says, the police force shall, in carrying out its responsibility under subsection 1, A, uphold the provisions of the Constitution and other laws, B, uphold and protect the fundamental rights of all persons in Nigeria, and C, be fair to all persons in Nigeria, notwithstanding their economic status or religious, ethnic, or political beliefs and affiliations. Where a person or organization notifies the police of his or her intention to hold a public meeting, rally, or procession on a public highway, or such meetings in a place where the public had access to, the police officer responsible for the area where the meeting, rally, or procession would take place shall mobilize personnel to provide security cover for the meeting, rally, or procession. The above provisions are clear with unambiguous, carrying it with several legal implications. This is what the law recognizes: the right of citizens to hold a public meeting, rally, or procession along the highway or any other place that the general public has access to, such as Gani Fawahimi Park in Lagos, the Unity Fountain in Abuja, and other locations across Nigeria. The section implication of Section 83 above is the binding obligation imposed upon the police force to provide security for such public meeting, rally, or procession. When politicians gather to hold their primary elections on public places, the government grants them protection through massive deployment of security. That's been the case, members of the public also have the right to demand for and be granted police protection for their public meetings, rallies, and protections. Where the government is opposed to any civil protest, it is indirectly stating that it has no capacity to comply with the provisions of the law, which is an impeachable offense for any government to outlaw the right of citizens to protest. It was the protest of Jewish women against the German program that led to the United Nations Charter. And I can go on and on. This is beautiful. Not some people coming us to talk nonsense, you know. I beg anybody when no want to agree, make you go knock head for wall. Huh? Alright, on this note, you have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.